So the first day that my dad had me in the truck, I was probably 6, 7 years old.
But I started taking them to work most all the time in the summer while they were out of school. Not every day, but most of the time. Up until Jason was 15 and Corey had he was 12.
I was a gopher. That's what he said. Hey, go for this, go for that.
So that year I decided you guys are going to go to work for me every day this summer.
That was the time that he said, listen, the day school gets out till the day school comes in, he said, you're going to be riding shotgun and working with me and for me. You're going to learn this business.
By the time they were 18 years old, both of them could do everything. They could do service, they could install. Everybody they did work for would call me up and say, hey, this kid did a really good job and they've got very good manners. One of the ladies, she wrote into the newspaper for Reader's Choice of St. Angelo. And when they read the article that she wrote about them, how professional they were at such a young age, and that they knew what they were doing, but most of all, their manners and how they treated her. I won Reader's Choice of St. Angelo that year because of them.
I mean, I learned so many things from riding shotgun with my dad. He's the sales guy for the company. I got to see my dad interact with all of these different types of people from all different walks of life from a very young age, and see how he never changed his core or who he was, but he always adapted to the situation.
So Corey learned every aspect of the business pretty well at a young age. Not saying he didn't have a whole lot more to learn, but as of right now, he knows a lot more about the air conditioning business than I do because he's good at technology. A lot better at technology than I am. I do mine the old-fashioned way, and he does his the old-fashioned way with new technology.
So it was always an idea of mine to have my own company. Knowing what I was going to specifically do was always the big question, right? But from the time I was 14, I was working with my dad all the way through college, then went to Fortune 500 companies out in corporate America, really learning the sales cycle and the sales process from a big corporate structure. And I found very quickly that I didn't like it. I want to bring something to where we're having this relationship. It's a visceral relationship with the customer that you're not just doing it for the money, right? You're doing these things for a real reason. You have purpose, and it's not just for money. If I have that integrity and really care more about the customer and the customer satisfaction than my own, we're going to win. When you see the history of the air conditioning side of things in the science, it's changed by leaps and bounds from the day that he started with very simple controls to now very sophisticated controls that you can literally talk to your AC system now and tell it what to do from your phone. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to that stuff, and so I don't want to just know how to fix it. I want to understand the inner workings of every piece of equipment that I work on, how it works from a science side and a practical side. We want our customer to understand who we are and what we do. So when we say that we operate in honesty and integrity, that's really important, and that's the keystone of what we do. But from the other side, from the competitive advantage side, if you're looking at a company, why should I do business with them? It's like, well, the know-how. What do they do? How do they do it? And why do they do it that way? I have just thrown myself into as much training as possible. So every time that they have a course, there's something new coming out. There's a lunch and learn. There's a class that says, hey, here's a new technology. I'm there. I mean, I spend countless hours, year over year over year, learning the technical and science side of this business. But I really think it comes down to money and budget for most customers. And so that's the beauty of us, is we're saying, look, not only are we going to do it, we're going to be a performance contractor, but we're going to meet our customers' needs and be at that price point where they can still afford a really high quality performance contractor. And then what does it mean? It's like, it means we're going to come in and do an engineered design of your system. We're going to design the airflow. We're going to design the refrigerant flow. And then we're not just going to pick a 5-ton piece of equipment. No, we're going to go in and find the manufacturer that makes the exact design that's going to meet the parameters that we set forth based on that scientific study that we've done of your house and the heat load and the load calculation. And then we design it all together and make it exactly what it's supposed to be. And then we can take in and measure all of those things with a high-tech equipment. And that's what performance contracting is. It's saying, we know what the static pressure is, we know what the airflow is, we know what the refrigerant charge is, and this system was designed to operate within those specific parameters so that if you buy an 18-SEER variable speed system and you're paying out the dollars for it, you're getting your money's worth. And that's the difference with what we do here at Coldfactor.